A very good afternoon to everyone. So I thought I could start this talk with a bit of traditional and classical way. So that was a small alab to have my flute boxing performance kicked off. Well, so I also play the same instrument in a different style. It sounds a bit different. You know how it sounds? It goes like, say, just like that. Well, so that was an introduction about flute boxing. I thought I could play a nice medley, a combination of few songs together. So you guys guess which songs. Well, so that was a addition of beatboxing to the flute, called the flute boxing. Well, I was not very much happy about just playing this on the mainstream of just flute boxing. I thought I have to do something even more different with flute boxing. So I thought I could take the tempo to the next level, play some fast beats, fast flute, that which is hard enough. But then I thought I could get that both together. So some fast flute boxing for you. Do you guys like that? Yes? Well, so that's how my career got its takeoff to be called as a flute boxer. Well, looking back of how flute boxer came into action, back in 2012, a college boy who really wanted to do something different, wanted to be a little innovative and stand out of the box, took up an art called beatboxing, and then thought it's getting a little mainstream after a couple of years, and then wanted to add an instrument to it, which he really could not afford. And yeah, so I actually stand proud in front of you to be the first Indian flute boxer. And yes, adding a lot of things to it. Today I'm not going to be talking much about myself, okay? I thought I could talk about how an artist can make a life. Well, so the main thing for an artist is to identify his talent. Well, the day you identify your talent, what do? What's next? Well, try to be a little unique, do something different. Once you have the basics in your hand, the next thing that you can do is try to step out of that comfort zone. Try to think out of the box, do something innovative, do something unique that no one's done before. Well, for an artist to survive in the market, the first thing that you would need to do is to be unique, to grab the attention of an audience. Well, if I really did not do something unique, all you guys wouldn't be sitting out today and calling me to talk on this platform. Well, I wanted to do something that not any of the beatboxers did before. So I really wanted to add an instrument. So something similar to every art form. Like if you're a dancer, do something different in dance. If you're a painter, paint something unique that no one's ever seen before. Something that can catch my eye attention when I'm passing by. That needs to be the main goal of an artist. Only if you're unique, only if the factor of innovation hits you hard is when you are going to sustain in the market. Or else it's like you take this flight and then suddenly you just drop down. You don't know where you are after a couple of years. Well, the next thing about an artist to sustain himself in market, the main thing is how well he can market himself. Don't give everything that you have for one show. Keep something that is unique, that you can sell after a couple of years. And then how well you market yourself really matters for an artist in the media industries and event industries as well. It's very important for you to know what your financial terms could be. It's very important for you to know where you can perform and which audience you need to do. Well, I performed today, then all the songs that I really planned to perform for you guys was just for you guys. So if I'm going for a different audience, I would think to connect to that particular audience, right? So it's very important for an artist to know what you're going to perform for that particular audience. Like imagine I go to north of India and I play a South Indian number, it's really not going to work much. So I need to prepare myself and be enabled to adapt to any new updates or new things that the crowd would really love to watch. So that's one thing that I would really say that an artist needs to be updated about. And the next thing I feel is practice. Well, very important thing or something that I am really addicted to is my practice. For an artist, it's very important. I know once you hit a stage, you get a lot of fans, you get a lot of messages, you get a lot of DMs and all of those things, and then you just get carried away. But no, that would really not give you a long run. The first thing is practice. And I keep getting a lot of questions, from the students saying that, sir, we are still studying, we have our education, we have our midterms and SIMs. How do we practice? Make time. You can make time for chai with your friends, right? So sacrifice that time. Don't go for chai. I don't go for chai with my friends most of the times because I think at that 1 hour or 2 hours, I can really learn something. I sit and practice for the maximum number of hours I can. All those people who really stood back there and used to make jokes about me, saying that, okay, you know what, this guy is always practicing. Today I walk onto their corporates and they're standing and clapping for me because I was the chief guest. That's because I sacrificed that time to chill with them. Today they pay their money to buy tickets to watch me. So well, that has to be inside an artist to sacrifice. Sacrifice is very important. Well, it can come to you at any point of or any situation, maybe family, maybe society, maybe your friends, maybe your dear ones, whatsoever. But if you really want to do a longer run, if you want to be an artist forever in a market, you have to sacrifice a lot of things. And the next question that I really got after my previous TEDx talks was how to be multitasking in 2 different art forms. Well, I also play football. I've represented India in the Neymar Junior 5 World Tournament in Brazil. And I also play the flute. So it's not very hard to maintain yourself in 2 different art forms. It's just that you need to schedule your day for practice. Well, if you really think that you're good in music as well as dance, you have to schedule yourself that half of the day I would do music and half of the day I would do, dance. And the next thing, do not go to your parents and tell them that, I don't want to go for a corporate job, I don't want to go for a 9 to 6, all these things. Don't tell them all of these things. They're not really going to understand because even my parents did not. A lot of people have dreams after we graduated to do something what we love to do. Why does that not happen? The question is, you guys have still not started earning with your talent. Where have you marketed yourself? The day you can run your house with 1 show's payment, that day you can stand proud in front of your parents and tell them that, okay, you know what? I can earn through my talent. Well, that has to come to you, and that takes a little bit of time, or maybe even more, a couple of years. And because today I'm standing in front of you guys as music is my profession, like flute boxing is what my bread and butter is and everything. But I have never sat in front of my parents and told them that give me 2 years of time, I will achieve so-and-so things and then do something different and all. Nothing like that. I've never done any of that. All I do is stay silent, practice in my room, and one fine day my father opens a newspaper and then sees an article about me. That's called an achievement. That's how you prove yourself to your parents. Don't sit there and tell them that I would do, give me some time. Don't tell them. And another thing, thank you so much. And another thing, an artist really, a main issue for an artist is money. Very true. I know a lot of people have dreams to buy expensive instruments, go for expensive workshops and all of those things. But if we cannot afford for it, do not stop there. Well, the first time I saw some guy flute boxing on YouTube, I took a screenshot of that and ran into a music store and I wanted to pick up the flute that guy was playing. It was some 55,000 or more. And I really could not afford. I had some 500 rupees with me. I bought back what I could afford, a broken bamboo flute, which was not even tuned or something, but I was super excited to play that flute and learn myself. I could not afford for a music class because my parents were not financially sound enough, but that did not really stop me. All I could do is try to mimic someone, try to see what they're doing, and then learn. Trust me, guys, the day you learn yourself, you have a freedom to do whatever you want. Your talent will excel up above if you learn yourself. I'm not saying Gurujis and music teachers are wrong. I would say that they really are an essential part for you to know what is right and wrong. But till the time you get to know who you are, you really need to practice and learn on your own. That really matters for you a lot. Today I have so much of freedom to flute box is because I learned it myself. I have mastered it under a classical Hindustani Guruji as well. But then that is a different art form. This is a different art form. So you need to know where to learn, when to learn, and what to learn. If you're really learning something that is really not being productive to you about your tomorrow's event, it really does not make sense. You get fantasized about seeing a lot of musicians, right? Like I see A.R. Rahman, I want to play keyboard. Does it even gonna fetch me my bread and butter tomorrow? No. I'm a flute boxer. I need to stick into there. I need to think what I could do to reach to A.R. Rahman. So what you do today really matters. And the next thing is, I would say, it takes time. Hard work, smart work, everything put together takes time. You need to have patience in life. Music is all about patience, or any art form. Unless and until you have that patience to achieve and that fire inside you to, get success behind you, even though it takes time. I know you're answerable. Even every artist has an off season, okay? He's answerable to all the relatives who walk into the house and says, "What is your son doing?" My mom is like, "He's practicing." Then practicing. After that, practicing. Because I don't know when is my next gig. But then still, when it comes to an on-season, even if they come home, they don't get to see me. And I'm flying, and then they switch on TV and they watch me performing on the TV. That's the life of an artist, guys. You just can't, promise someone for a fixed income. There's no fixed salary or nothing. But then you're happy about earning even 1 penny. Like I do free of cost shows also for an audience who really love to watch me. That's an artist's life. Like that is what we are happy about. And I am super happy about it as well. And then the next thing that came into my life was doing different after flute boxing. What next after flute boxing? I thought I could add another instrument to it called the harmonica. So presenting some harmonica beatboxing for you. Let's do something together. Put all your phones back into your pocket. Let's perform once. We could finish this talk with your performance. Are you guys ready to perform with me? Yes? All you have to do is just clap and I'll give you the count. Okay? And it goes like, say, Thank you so much, everybody. Well, before I could wind up my talk, I would like to say two lines. Well, the main thing for us, or for an artist, is to make his parents stand proud because of the artist and not stand proud because of your parents. So every one of you in this house are talented, like everyone. Find out what your talent is, try to be unique, do something different that no one's done before, and make sure your parents walk their heads up proud, saying that they're your parents, and you don't walk proud because he's your father or mother, okay? And forget not, before I could leave the stage, all glory belongs to God, and thank you so much for everybody for having me for this beautiful evening, and I hope something changes in your life after this. Thank you.